in a world where cinema reigns supreme. Join us on an epic journey through the silver screen. Welcome to What's New with Stu, a movie review, with your host Dave Stewart, a video podcast where every frame tells a story. Get ready for insights, laughs, and film debates. From blockbusters to hidden gems, we've got it all covered. Lights, camera, action. It's time for What's New with Stu, a movie review. And now your host, David F. Stewart.
I've come to terms with the fact that you don't have an average job.
You guys having fun at the convention?
But we haven't seen you in months.
What happened to your eye?
Somebody fouled me at the game.
What game?
The one you missed.
In the immortal words of the late great Benny Hill. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, all. Welcome to another episode of What's New with Stu, a movie review. I'm your host, Dave Stewart. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the sequel, Nobody 2, which just came out last week. And that's a sequel to the, I would say, modest hit of 2021 called Nobody, starring Bob Underkirk, Connie Nielsen, and Christopher Lloyd. Now, Bob Underkirk, of course, famous for his role as a sleazy lawyer in Better Call Saul, and, of course, originally in Breaking Bad. And the original came out 4 years ago, like I said. I didn't see it in the movie theater. My cousins had told me about it. And I just said, okay, one day I'll watch it. I never did. And then one day, a little YouTube post comes up. I'll watch the bus clip. And I saw the clip on a bus where Bob Underkirk, who plays a character called Hatch, basically takes on these 5 guys to protect this woman. And I thought the scene was great. So I went to watch the movie just recently, only 6 weeks ago. Now, what was interesting about Nobody is the first thought I had from the opening, well, not the opening shot, but once the film establishes what's going on, is the movie Shrek 4, Shrek Forever After, where Shrek has 3 baby ogres, has his wife Fiona, and it shows a montage in the beginning of Shrek 4 where he wakes up every day and he changes the kids' diapers and he puts out the garbage, and they're showing the seasons change, and it's kind of like the same thing every day, kind of like life, the same mundane life that we all go through. And Shrek kind of misses his days as a single ogre, and that's kind of the way Nobody starts off. Bob Underkirk goes to work, he puts the garbage out, it's usually too late, the garbage men are coming by, and he's running the late last minute. He throws garbage in a garbage can, and his wife goes, "Oh, Hatch, you missed the garbage." And they show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they go through this mundane life. You can tell he's not happy with his life. He seems to be a nice father. He loves his kids, but even his marriage seems to be, whatever. And he just doesn't seem to be thrilled with his life. And then one day there's a home invasion in his house, and his son witnesses that he doesn't do anything about it. He has an opportunity to do something against these guys, and he doesn't. And now his son and his wife are like, "Why didn't you do anything?" And they're really questioning him. It's almost like they look at him like he's some kind of wuss, and he's not happy. And then the bus sequence happens, and he blows a fuse, and he goes after these guys.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
But you realize when he goes after these guys that he's not who he appears to be. He comes across like an average dad, and you realize this guy's like a John Wick character who's trying to suppress his past. This thing is just laying dormant inside of him, finally explodes, and then the movie goes into this crazy, all these great action sequences, and he takes on the Russian mob. Now, the only thing about Nobody was the ending was way over the top. Okay, now we know a lot of films do stuff like this, but I don't know why they gotta do it in such a crazy way where sometimes it's just really unbelievable. My father used to say years ago, "Where are the cops? Where are the cops? Why aren't the cops around?" And I would say, "Dad, if the cops showed up like they're supposed to in real life in a movie, the movie would end." But at the same time, you're walking this line that you want to not quite go over. You want realism, but you want the fun action comic. I call it kind of almost like comic violence. And I thought Nobody kind of went over the top at the end of the film. The acting was really well done. Bob Underkirk was really good. And I love the action sequences. But again, the ending was kind of over the top. But I really enjoyed the film. And if I would have saw it in the movie theater, I would have said, go see this film. So now Nobody 2, the sequel, comes out. I just saw it last week. And the first thing I'm going to say right off the bat is the film is missing the surprise factor. Now that you know what Hatch is all about,
Told you. I'm on fucking vacation!
Hatch, Bob the Cook's character, a killer for hire, contract killer basically, and now he's doing it to pay off some debts that he incurred from the first movie. His family knows what he does, and they accept the whole thing, except his wife's getting a little annoyed with some stuff, and he decides to take them on a family vacation. Someplace his father took them when he was a kid, played by the very great actor Christopher Lloyd, who was very funny in the first Nobody, but I thought he was not used well in this film. He's just totally wasted. And they go on vacation, and of course one thing leads to the other, and a lot of try to duplicate what happened in the first movie. There's some very well done action sequences, one in an arcade.
What the hell, Hutch? On our first date?
One on a boat. And that's really where the film is really the most enjoyable. But again, nothing else happens with the storyline. Now, Sharon Stone was brought in as a villain, but she has all this cliche dialogue.
I'm here for you. You know, I like this little empire of mine. What I don't like is people who try to fuck up my peace of mind. But you know, I'm just like that.
Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, is a corrupt deputy sheriff, but he doesn't really bring anything to the table. But the truth is, they don't have a great script to work with. Both films are about an hour and a half, and you would say, okay, well, if the film isn't good, at least I'm not wasting a lot of time. But that's kind of my argument. The one thing about Tarantino, his films are long. Okay, but not only does he have great action sequences, such as Django Unchained as an example, but he writes great dialogue, and this is what the film is lacking. The backstory of the first movie was interesting, that he had this hidden past, but there's nothing new to bring to Nobody 2. So to be honest with you, it was kind of a waste of money if you ask me. I would definitely watch the original, watch that, and you can write in the comment below what you think. But then go see Nobody 2. But you're going to agree with me. I can't imagine anybody seeing Nobody and then seeing Nobody 2 and think Nobody 2 is just as good as Nobody. There's just no way. So my final recommendation is not to go see Nobody 2. Wait for it to come out video, and even then, I don't know if I'd watch it. And in the immortal words of the late great Benny Hill, good night, viewers. Good night, all. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you at the movies.